Yo, 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 meta talk. This that meta talk. Meta talk. This that meta talk. Meta talk.
This that meta talk.
The latest, the greatest, the hottest, the topics.
What?
Meta talk.
This that meta talk.
Meta talk. This that meta talk. Woo.
Meta talk. This that meta talk.
Yo, 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 welcome to another latest episode of Meta Talk, where we bringing y'all nothing the latest and greatest in sports, social media, and everything on the news. We about to give y'all the blues. This is Meta Talk, man.
Ain't nothing bigger.
And it ain't nothing bigger. You in here today with your boy Bear Cleasy Baby, and I'm in here with none other than...
You already know it's your boy Bud, Mr. Absolutely.
Mr. Absolutely. And absolutely today, we got a special guest in here today. We got... community activist, community leader, mentor, author, aspiring comedian, LeVoy Foster. Shout out. Let them know who you is, man. Big hands up for LeVoy Foster.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's LeVoy Foster. Drunk who don't drink. Love life. You know what I'm saying? Like, here to just spread the word of love. Believe in yourself.
Right. It's good to have you here, man. My man HD been bigging you up for the last 2 weeks, talking about, your platform, how well you're doing in the community, how much you giving back, how much of your word is reaching out to the community and the young people and even the older people in the community. So congratulations on that.
I appreciate that.
For sure.
Thank y'all for having me. For real, I want to give a shout out to my homegirl Kiana, who got me in touch with you guys. You know what I mean?
Kiki baby,
Yeah.
Kiki baby, we need you back on here, Kiki baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the fans love you, Kiki baby. Everybody love you. Shouts out to Kiana, man.
Yes, sir.
You know she always been a real one.
Yeah.
But let's get into this, man. Let's get into this meta talk. You know what? We don't see no color. Only color we see is green, and that munyon to get you done, young. And it's on like a pot of neck bones. So, hey. Today, we in here with LeVoy Foster. I see you aspiring comedian. How was that?
Yeah.
Going from a comedian to a community activist. How was your comedian journey? I seen some of your clips. You seem pretty funny now.
The thing with that was, when I was a kid, I used to idolize Eddie Murphy a lot. And I never, ever, ever thought that I'd be doing stand-up comedy. What happened was, I got into a car accident. It was actually 3 car accidents in 3 months.
Damn.
The last one was the one I was driving in. I get into, my brain swelled up. It shifted. I can't see out of my right eye. My lung collapsed. My lung collapsed. My collarbone still sticks up. So they wound up telling my mother that I was going to be either mentally retarded or a vegetable.
Damn.
So I remember I came out of my coma and stuff like that. But I remember I brushed my teeth one day. And I look in the mirror, I'm like, something's off. So I cover my eye, everything's cool. I cover my other eye, and I'm like, damn, it's pitch black.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yo, like, you really messed up. You know what I mean? So within that month, I developed a relationship with it. And I knew my homeboys got jokes.
Yeah.
So I got to beat you to the punch. You know what I'm saying? So I developed this relationship where when I'm talking to people, it's like, I'll tell them, like, look at this one. This is the one that works, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was telling the story 3 different times. I told the story, and all 3 times I was asked if I did stand-up comedy. So I was like, nah. So I wound up getting a notebook. I started writing jokes. My mother found the notebook, which I was pissed because that was like my diary.
Yeah.
So she made me do a show in the kitchen at home with a microphone. Somebody recorded it. I had like 4 friends over. She invited over some friends. And my very first show was at Puffer Belly's in 2002. The American Dream Contest, DJ Owsley, rest in peace. Thank you. He gave me my first shot. You know what I mean? So I did that, and then I loved it. You know what I mean? Now I'm the dude that I couldn't do an oral presentation in high school, nothing like that. Now I'm standing in front of 200 people, and I was like, this is kind of dope.
So when you up there and you standing in front of 200 people,
Yeah.
what do you take your mind? Like, how do you not like
You just try not to mess up.
Just
you know what I'm saying?
And look not funny.
Yeah, it's like, so when I look back, my first like 2-3 years maybe, there was all scripted where I would write out word for word what I'm gonna say. So now I gotta remember it. Now when I get up there, if you don't know what you're talking about, it shows. You get stuck and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like finding yourself on stage takes work, it takes time, it takes like, if you're not on it like that, it really ain't gonna happen, you know what I mean? So for me, at that point in my life, it was everything that I needed because it gave me the perfect thing to hide behind. And what I mean by that is like, I always had beef with myself.
Okay.
I was the only black kid in my class till 6th grade. I went through a whole lot, you know, like I didn't want to be black, didn't want to be the middle child. Like there was a lot of, I'm half Native American. When I go to the powwow, I don't look like y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of personal beef that I had that by the time I got to this point, I was an alcoholic. I started drinking
So not to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good.
do you think being around people that was different from you, kids that were different from you, different skin complexion, different hair, different eye color, do you think that affected you? Cause it's big. This meta talk, we here to uplift everybody in the community.
100%.
The women, the men, and the next generation. It's kids in school right now that's going through some of the same things you going through.
Yep.
Where they feel like their voice ain't heard or they're not being seen. That's gonna, lash out to want to get on a substance, bud.
Yep.
Who's gonna turn to alcohol, bud? Who's gonna turn to drugs? So let them know you in this school. You feeling like you don't want to be black. You feeling like you ain't yourself. You turn to alcohol. How old were you when you started drinking?
18.
18 years of age.
Yeah.
So you waited damn near till you was all the way out of high school to start drinking.
Yeah, and it was crazy because like I was the designated driver in high school.
Yeah.
And I was the dude getting mad at my friends because y'all acting weird and your breath stink and y'all in my face and you keep repeating yourself. Like I was mad at y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I go to UMass Dartmouth and little at a time it started to pick up, and then next thing you know, I'm saying things like, if you drink during the week, you probably have a problem. If you drink during the day, you probably got a problem. The next thing you know, I had my first day drunk. This was the day that I knew alcohol was for me. I'm with my homeboy at school. He had to make a run to Taunton real quick. Drop something off to one of his people. I was like, all right. And at the time, I was drinking St. Ives Special Brew. It's like wine coolers.
That's old school.
Look, I drank 2 of them, and I'm good for the night, right? So we get to his homeboy's house, and his homeboy was like, you want a beer? I couldn't say no because I don't want to look like a bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gives me a beer. It was a natural ice. First one went down. It was freezing. It went down. Now I'm like this, right?
Yeah.
So I get halfway through the second one. My buddy looks at me. He's like, you drunk, huh? I was like, yeah. I was like, let's get back to campus. So we get back to campus. I'm not that shy little kid. I'm not that little kid who hates himself. I felt like I just didn't give a damn. I'm talking, and approaching women has always been like this thing that I could never do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not today. Today, get back to campus, I'm talking to everybody like I own the school. We play basketball. I'm killing everybody. Go to the party. I wind up leaving with the girl that everyone wants. That day registered success.
Yeah.
Liquor courage.
Liquor courage.
Let me tell you something. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I never forgot that. I was chasing that for the next 15 years.
So do you think that's why a lot of people rely on alcohol because it makes them more relaxed, make them more open up, make them more subject to being somebody that they want to be but who they really not?
I mean, everybody's case is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it worked because it gave me the opportunity to not be me. After doing all that work that I put in the first couple of years of sobriety, I was able to like pinpoint that you were running from you. My biggest resentment was me. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how to become nobody else. You hear a lot, right? Of love yourself, respect yourself. Who teaches you? and it's no disrespect to anybody's parents or my parents, you know what I'm saying? But you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You can't be blamed for that. So it's kind of like some people are able to have a few just to relax. Then the tricky part is you cross this line that you don't know you crossed, and now you rely on it.
Yes, sir.
If I don't have this, I can't do that. Yeah. That's the biggest lie.
That would make you subject to the addiction and wanting more, that you rely on it. Yeah. I'm not funny because I don't have a drink.
Man.
I'm not sexy because I don't have a drink. I can't talk to her because I don't have a drink.
I'm talking about, like, I couldn't play Nintendo 64 unless I was drinking or drunk. I couldn't go to Walmart, nothing.
So you drinking and driving, you have this catastrophic accident. You almost lose a lung, you lose an eye. You know, you sitting there, you in a coma.
Yeah.
When you come out the coma, what was your thought process? Hey, am I going to keep drinking, or do I got to get my shit together?
So from what I can remember, a lot of stories were told to me, but, like, I didn't really care to drink. You know what I'm saying? I was in the hospital for a couple months. When I got back home, I was 21, and 21. And my mother basically grounded me because she almost lost her baby.
So how long was you in a coma for?
6 days, I think.
6 days in a coma.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Something like that. And but like, there was only 2 people that my mother would let me leave the house with that she trusted.
Yeah.
So a little bit as time's going on, I'm bored. You know what I mean? So it kicks in my head, like, let me just go to the store. And I always had this thing within me. If you tell LeVoy, don't touch this as a kid, in my head, I heard it as don't get caught.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I'm bored and, well, let me just go get a nip. You know what I'm saying? So little at a time, I started picking it back up. I got a DUI within a year of leaving the hospital.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And my mom, when I told her that night, I actually went to Puffer Belly's. I was supposed to go to Atlantic City the next day with my sister and her homegirl, who's now my daughter's mother. I couldn't go. My mom didn't talk to me at all. She talked to me Sunday night, and she basically told me, like, if I spoke to you, our relationship was over.
So it must suck for your better half when you was in a relationship and you drinking, you lying, you conniving. You going against everything that you know. Your mom's trying to be a great parent. You lying to her. You telling her one thing. How was your love life on a substance like alcohol?
So there was one woman I dated for 2 years. She didn't complain to me. I wound up being the one to break up with her. But at that point, there was a period where I only really kept yes men around me. If you're going to tell me no or challenge my position or anything, we're not cool like that. I'm not ready for that level of responsibility and accountability. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know something's wrong with me. You know what I mean? It was like I got my license back after the first DUI. Then I get, within a year of that, I get my second DUI. So the attorney was like, they gave me 7 field sobriety tests. So even the attorney was like, you can beat this. Because usually after 2 or 3, they determine whatever. So I was like, nah, like something's wrong. He was like, are you kidding me? You're going to have to go to Tewksbury for 2 weeks, rehab, and pay $1,000 and whoop-de-woo. I'm like, I got to do something. So even going in front of the judge was like, you're being charged. How do you plead? I'm like, guilty. He was like, you sure? He was like, you want to go talk to your attorney? I was like, nah, I'm good. And he was
Judge
like,
ain't never seen nobody.
And the judge was like, listen, like, this is what you're going to have to do if you plead guilty and whatever. He's like, go talk to your attorney. We'll come back after. I said, no. It didn't stop nothing, you know what I mean? So I had many attempts of, like, crying for help and all this other stuff. But, I mean, you're not ready until you're ready.
So what helped you find yourself? What helped you find sobriety? For the listeners out there, where there's a will, there's a way. Whatever you facing, whatever you think is a hardship, whatever you're going through, it's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
To the younger generation that listening, to somebody at home right now that's fighting addiction, to somebody at home right now trying to kick a habit, to the person driving in their car listening to this, just know you can find a way, bud.
Absolutely. It's always a way. It's a will, it's a way.
It's light at the end of the tunnel. My grandma used to always say, it's more than one way to skin a cat. So you in front of the judge, you been drinking, you rebellious against family, you driving, you getting DUIs, you been in a coma, you at the hospital. When did you just say, okay, I'm going to use this time to get my shit together?
Shit. Probably like, I think if I do the math right, it was like 12 years after that.
Damn.
I mean, I was
12 years of just drinking.
It was a total of 15 of like, so when people say nobody can hurt you more than you can hurt yourself, like I totally understand what that means. Because for me, the worst pain I've ever experienced was not my car accident. It's the emotional pain. It's the not being able to look in the mirror. It's to know that I am so much better than how I'm living. It got to a point where if it wasn't for my brother, Larry, who lives out in Louisville, Kentucky, none of this would be possible for me. And out there, I wound up homeless, eating out of dumpsters, picking up cigarette butts off the ground. Like, it's this time of year. February 8th is my sobriety date. And I'm staying in a trap house. There's no running water, no electricity. I'm taking a dump in a plastic bag in the back, throwing that. And it's like, I'm scrapping metal. Bro, like, it was how? It's disgusting. Every day I'm waking up, the first thing I'm doing is cursing out God, because it's like, I haven't wanted to be here for years now. And I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there was one day, there was no toilet paper, whatever. And I'm walking to the store, and I'm like, it's February 7th. I'm like, just go to Detox. So I'm like, all right, bet. Go to the store. I grab a 24-ounce can of Steel Reserve 211, and I get my toilet paper. I'm walking back to the house, and something clicked. Like, this is it. I don't know where this came from besides the universe.
Yeah,
you know what
God.
I'm saying? So to handle my business at the crib, I'm walking to my brother's house to make the call. And then I was like, well, let me just go back to the liquor store. So I go back to the liquor store, get me some Heaven and Hill vodka, get a pint of that, get a 40 of OE, down to 40 before I get there. And then I'm just drinking whatever. And that day, it was like, I don't know. I just knew that day that it's over with, you know what I mean? But you never know how somebody actually feels. We do not know somebody's backstory, and that's where I'm at in my life now. Is I don't have a choice but to give back. Like, I owe a debt.
Yeah. That
when I talk about, it was my emotional and my mental pain that got me to where I'm at. My mom told me once, I came upstairs, this is when I was still drinking, early 20s. I came upstairs and I was like, let me hold $20. An ambulance happened to be driving by the house, right? And this is after my accident. So she says, LeVoy, every time an ambulance drives by this house, I think they're either going to get you or you're in it. The best thing I could do was ask her if she's still going to give me the money.
Yeah.
The mental and emotional pain I've caused, I can't go back and replace it. Mm-hmm. I got to give back. I got to try hard every single day to just be a better person. Because here's the thing, whether we say alcoholic, drug addict, gambling, whatever, everything boils back to your spirit.
Yeah.
Your spirit is in bondage. A bondage of what? That's the journey of life, is figuring these things out. Why am I the way that I am?
Absolutely, absolutely. HD, you ever been on that drink like that? I know you get.
I'm a lightweight,
You
bro.
a lightweight. You get buzzed on high noons and shit like
give me a
that.
bottle
I
of
get it.
rosé. I'm all right, man.
You know, yeah.
I be
You know,
telling folks have a drink for me because I can't.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it all. That's the beauty of it all. We not trying to bring nobody here and embarrass them. We trying to bring somebody here because to us at Meta Talk, he is a success story. You know, this gentleman that went on and did comedy series, comedy shows. He done went on to write 2 books, 2 great books. You can find those books. Let them know where they can find the books at.
Yeah, them books is on Amazon. One is Inside Outside. So if you go to Amazon, you type in Inside Outside, you type in my name, LeVoy Foster, or Ryan Glenn, that's Glenn. We wrote the book together. The other book is called The Paragraph. Any which way is kind of like, you know, giving back, helping. He's sharing his story. I'm sharing mine. The second book it's more like a pamphlet. I believe it's 19 pages. It's for the newcomer who struggles with alcohol. I mean, a drug is a drug is a drug. I don't give a damn because the behavior, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's not the drink. It's nothing that you're using. It's your thinking. How you feel about yourself, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? So when I'm talking about everything is spirit, that's what we're talking about. But society has it so that when you say certain things, here comes these
The critics. The critics is
here
things.
comes, and it's like, well, everybody has an opinion. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's like I'm always gonna boil back to like not really knowing how somebody feels. So when you say something like somebody has it worse, yeah, they do, but that's a way of living.
Yeah.
That's a way for me to just be grateful. And how can I help? If we stayed in a place of how can I help, the world would be a way better place. You start making everything about you. Because a lot of times what I think I want ain't even healthy for me.
Yeah. It's more of a necessity.
Yeah,
You
or
know.
in the moment.
Yeah.
That's where we're at in society. Society today is weird.
So
It's just weird.
not to get too forward, not to get beyond a story.
Well,
Because we want the people to know the journey. We want to know what it's like. We want them to know. We want you to share it all. You in rehab. You like, enough's enough.
man, look.
And you in your mind, do you go to God? Do you go to family? What pulls you out of that? What pulls you out of that dark place? What pulls you up? What lifts you up to say, I'm going to write these books. I'm going to give back to the community. I'm going to be a better son to my mom. I'm going to be a better brother to my brother. You know, I see you going down there to Kentucky and visit him and how happy you guys are when y'all together, the family orientation. You know, what made you say, you in rehab, you could have said, hey, I'm going to do this for a little bit and get out and get me another bottle.
Yeah.
You know, but what made you say, when I get out, I'm going to write this damn book. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to go be in the community. I'm going to give back to the youth. I'm going to go and talk to kids that's fatherless and to the young kids that don't got, you know, anything.
It was believing in them people who were already there ahead of me, believing in them enough until I could start believing in myself. I'm listening to these people. It was my first or second day I was in detox, and we used to have to wear gurneys. I'm sitting there. I got my head down because I'm full of shame. And this woman is telling her story, this white woman. I remember looking up because almost everything she was saying was me. And I remember I was about 2 months sober, and I'm showing out in group, right? I'm just kind of like cracking jokes and whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And I was in a homeless shelter that had a recovery program in it. You want to talk about humility?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no shower curtains. There's no doors for when you want to take a shit. No privacy. You're on bunk beds. Like, this place broke you down. But I'm showing out in group, whatever, and dude said, how long you got? I was like, about 2 months. And he said, what bed did you sleep in a detox? I said, bed 109. He said, oh, your best thinking got you that bed. Sit down and shut the fuck up. So right then and there, I had to make a decision because I'm humiliated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he diverted the whole group into the Body Heals, the Live Returns. He's like, every time you forget how bad it was, you do shit like this. You forget. You're starting to feel better. You're showing out and da-da-da-da-da. And he said, just play your tape back. Just think about it. So I took so many direct and indirect suggestions because at the time I'm 34 years old. How did I get here? How did it get this bad? And somebody out here, their story's a little bit worse, but check this out. They got a car. They got their own place. They got a job. They're living. Who am I to sit here and keep questioning you? Because they talk about it gets worse, never better. LeVoy, play your tape back. As a matter of fact, look in the mirror. Even still at that point, I got my front tooth punched out by my younger brother.
Hey,
you feel me?
Shout outs to the younger brother.
The younger brother, look.
Thank you for keeping this man in line. Thank you for keeping LeVoy in line because, you know, without that guidance, sometimes the younger brother can be like the bigger brother.
Yeah, it was like we sitting there, Joan. Your peers show you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Your significant other.
Definitely.
Yeah, so after that, after the detox, so you basically, what is it, like 12 steps or something y'all do?
Yeah, so I was in detox, and then across the street from the detox was the program. So there was I was there for 8 months, and within the 8 months, you have to take the steps. So I took the steps, and step 5 is where you tell all your secrets that you've taken to the grave and this and that, whatever. Like, I was petrified doing that. But I did it. And when I left, I wound up getting another sponsor because the sponsor I had was real busy. And I knew that, excuse me, I had to take people through the steps. I just wanted to make sure I'm doing it the right way and whatever. So the man who sponsors me today, and God put him in front of me a few times, and I just was a bitch, scared to ask him to sponsor me, you know what I mean? But I asked him to sponsor me. He took me through the steps again, and a lot more came out the second time. And, you know, that changed a lot. It changed.
That was your turning point right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like you have to keep doing certain things in order to develop, like, for something to stick. You got to just, like, practice. You don't, when you keep leaving yourself with choices, one thing that terrified me was I looked back at the choices I made, and I could make those again.
Yeah.
So if I don't continue to do this, that's waiting for you. And for me, it was like, I can't. Mm-hmm. And at that point, my oldest, she's 21. She turned 21 New Year's Day. I hadn't had a relationship with her at that time. It had been 3 years. And that brought me a lot. I had suicidal ideations for years. But
do you think it was because of the alcohol?
I think, no. Not 100%. It played a part. Like, I can only speak on me taking responsibility for my end of the street, which I did get to tell her when she was 12. I wasn't able. I did the absolute best that I could at that time. and I'm not a man of excuses. I was not able to be there for her the way that she needed me, emotionally, especially spiritually, physically. I could, but there was a lot of visits that, I canceled just selfishly, you know what I'm saying? But there's another counterpart. My kid, I called her. I just had her on the weekend, and I was like, listen, I'm getting ready to come pick you up. Let me know what you want to do, whatever. And she says, Daddy, I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't want to come over ever again. I said, who loves you? She says, Daddy, and we hung up, and that was that. I knew the day I broke up with her mom when she was 4 months pregnant, but I was never going to leave my kid. But I knew that was going to happen at some point. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I knew at some point we weren't going to have a relationship. So there's a lot more to it than just LeVoy being an alcoholic, because even though LeVoy's an alcoholic, I'm taking you to court and I'm winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that played, it was a heavy role, but when I was at the healing place, I was in men's group. It was called Happy Hour. My homeboy said he had blurted out, 22 years. I hadn't had a relationship with my daughter. My head came up real quick. So as soon as that meeting was over, he's the first person I went to. I said, how do you deal with it? He said, what? I said, I ain't had a relationship with my daughter in 3 years, and I'm ready to jump off a bridge. And he said, you got to have faith. You got to keep doing the next best thing. And then my sponsor taught me a lot about the importance of taking responsibility, which I'm grateful to be able to stand in front of her 9 years ago and tell her the truth. You know what I'm saying? We still, when that day does present itself, we'll talk again and she'll know more. I'm not in the business of talking about people or her mom or anything like that.
Do you think the disease itself roll over to the kids, or from the kids seeing mom or dad in this like situation or in this state of mind? Would the disease roll over, or is it genetically? Is it in a gene? Is it in a DNA? Or do you think, because, we not trying to make excuses here on Meta Talk.
No, I get it.
We want people to know, like, you could be sitting around drinking around your son, and now he sees it, he picks it up, his son see it, is, do the disease carry over? Do the addictive personality trait carry over? Or is it you think it's in a genotype?
So that, like, I'm no scientist or nothing like that. It can definitely be learned behavior. Do I think it's in the DNA somehow, some way? Yeah, I definitely think that. My brother, I have an older brother, and I have a younger sister, and I have two other brothers. We've all had our experiments or whatever, you know what I mean? It's gonna hit people differently. Every case is different, you know what I'm saying? So I think that you're the only person who knows why you're drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're the only person in your head to know how it makes you feel and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? So you could develop, like when I first started drinking, I never planned on being an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Ever. You know what I'm saying? Anytime that I drank, I didn't plan on blacking out. Mm-hmm. That wasn't part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? And it's like things happen, so it's kind of like wake up call, wake up call, wake up call, wake up call. Are you gonna? Every trap door, every bottom has a trap door. Mm-hmm. You keep go ahead and keep playing with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you to take full responsibility and say, you know what? I need help. And again, it's not even just with alcohol. It could be with work.
It could be with anything. Like me, I need help with sex. I'm a sex maniac. I take that back. This Meta Talk, we keeping it real. Already with the rehab for that, so y'all ain't got to worry about that. Ladies, if you out there, you ain't got to worry about that. I took care of that. I went to the same rehab Tiger Woods went to. So, back to my boy LeVoy Foster. Mm-hmm. Okay, you out of rehab. You're doing good. You writing books. Mm-hmm. You spending time with your daughter again.
Nah, we ain't got no relationship. I got a newborn. Well, she's not new. She's 17 months.
So did that that ever make you want to like give up on life? Or for all the fathers that are out here that have those battles with their child and the ups and downs, and who don't know what it's like to, have no relationship with your child. You want to talk to her, you want to call her. You trying to do better in life, and the more you trying to climb up the ladder, the more things in life are pulling you down.
Yeah. If you let them, that's the thing. We got to keep the ball on our court. But it's hard to get there when you're emotional.
You emotional to the point that it got you suicidal.
Yeah. It was doing the work with my sponsor, and it's not just this specific situation, but my universe or God, whatever you want to call it, has been with me the whole time.
True.
I was just so ungrateful for so long and selfish that I couldn't see certain things. So now it's kind of like I believe and I know for a fact every last thing that had happened was supposed to happen. My universe, God, whatever, was just like, LeVoy, I just need you to trust me. That's it. The more you keep relying on yourself, this dumb shit keep happening. You keep hurting people and all this other stuff. You can't keep a job. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if you just trust me and let go of certain things
that you can't control.
If you trust me, we can get through these fears. You know what I'm saying? So now more than ever, I can tell you the shirts I got this shirt on. Me and my oldest, we're going to have a conversation someday. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I believe that. 100%. So there's no way that you can lose when you're willing to just try and accept the fact that, listen, here's the thing about acceptance and the truth. It don't care how you feel.
Yeah.
When I care too much about how I feel or how I'm going to feel, I'm screwed. I got to stop doing that, because there was both of y'all think about this. How many times you was like, God, if you get me out of this, I'll never do it again. It was like, all right. And then what do? We do it again. So now we talk. Yeah. So we talking about getting in our own way.
Yeah.
Take the E off emotion and go get you some motion, baby boy.
Well, because think about this too. When you emotional, you ain't thinking straight.
Nope.
At all. So now it's kind of like when I accept certain things, the emotion comes down, I can see clear, and it's like, boom, now I'm going to. But here's the other part, humility. I need some people to help me with this. Yeah, I got to talk about some things. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of, how vulgar can you get on here?
You can do whatever you want, man. It's this meta talk. We don't see white, we don't see black, we don't see none but the color green. And that money gonna get you done, young. If you out there right now, tune in, hit the like button, follow us, share, comment. You can hit us up at metatalk3@gmail. We in here right now with this man. He been going down, he been torn down, he been beat down, and he's still running. You can say whatever the hell you want. You done made it through the fire. We want the people out there to know you can make it through the fire.
Yeah, it don't matter what's happened, right? So, what was I? I was 28 years old. I was sexually assaulted by a man.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Did that fuck with your head mentally? Was you in jail? Was you in rehab? Where were you when this happened? You're 28 years old.
Yeah.
And what was the outcome? How did this all, let the people know?
So it was like, I was misled I had moved to another area, and I was sent a friend request. So I looked at their information, and they were cool with the Martin Lawrence, what's it called? Cast.
Yeah.
And a few other celebs or whatever, whoop-de-woo. So I was like, I'm new out here. I'm trying to get on to stand-up comedy, could you help me out? Yeah, I got you, whatever, whoop-de-woo. I'll come scoop you, blah, blah, blah. Stop by the liquor store and then get whatever you want. I'm an alcoholic. I went shopping for a week's worth of, you know what I'm saying? So blackout, whatever. Well, get back to the crib, talk, made a few phone calls, whoop-de-woo. I black out, knocked out. I won't get into the details.
Yeah.
That happened. And now it's kind of like the amount of shame, humility, well, not humility, humiliation. I wanted to die, right then and looking in the mirror. So when I was a kid and I talk about being the only black kid in my class, they used to play this eraser game. They would hold my arm down, and we're gonna erase the black off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be wrong for popping you in your mouth. I didn't because I'm afraid. I didn't because all y'all look alike. So if I whoop you, does that mean I'm not going to have any friends when I come to school? What are y'all going to say about me? I'm afraid that if I whoop you, the teacher going to yell at me. I'm going to have to go to the principal. Now the principal going to tell my mother, please don't tell my mother nothing.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of her. So all these fears, 100 forms pop up like that.
And only thing you trying to do is make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
And become somebody. And I'm so happy that you touched that for all the young people that's out there that's thinking about getting into the show business and thinking about, you know, chasing a dream of entertainment. It's a scary place.
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
you
it's
drunk. You trust these people. It's a form of trust. You see they somewhere. You see that they messing with big name people, Martin Lawrence and the Will Smiths, and you just like, maybe this person can guide me, and the person that you thought you could trust and guide you totally took advantage of you, your habit, your addiction, you as a person. So now you come out of there, I'm pretty sure you going crazy.
I mean, I never really thought about murdering nobody until, you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of like the easier thing or easier route for me would have been for me to just take myself out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, because then you're having these thoughts. Like, so the reason I bring up that little boy is because that little boy was now 28 years old, the same thing. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times when I'm talking to some people, whatever, and I'm like, you got to go backwards to go forwards. You know what I mean? I didn't learn that till retrospect, but it was kind of like, who do you tell and all this other stuff that's going to believe you? But the whole time I'm cursing myself because if it comes to me getting into a fist fight, I got hands. Yeah. I can fight. You know what I'm saying? So bad self-talk and all this other stuff, like it just became normal and it consumed me. And then it was kind of like, what's the point to anything? LeVoy, you're a failure, you're a bitch, you're this, you're that. Don't nobody know what happened. So I'm grateful that I was able to sit with my sponsor, talk about it, and get more information or whatever. And it was kind of like, now that, it don't own me.
Yeah.
Any last thing that I've ever gone through, whether it was my oldest kid or whatever, like it don't own me no more. These were the types of things I couldn't help but obsess about.
Have you ever tried to confront him or bring it to, you just fuck it. You fuck me over.
I mean, there ain't nothing to talk about. I mean, I do send like
without want to kill a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, one thing I understand now is sickness.
Yeah.
Is mental health, and
it's a
check
disease.
this out. Like, you're as sick as your secrets, right? So your thoughts are just as effective as your actions. So I've never done anything to that extreme ever, but I've done some bad things. I've hurt people and all that other, and I've wanted a second chance and I wanted forgiveness. And to now be in position to say, you know what, I've been there, I can pray for you. It don't matter what you think you did to me. It don't matter. Today, no, it don't matter. Why? Because you got some things going on with you. You need help. And I'm grateful to be in position to hopefully get you closer to the help you need. You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Don't nothing have to own you. It doesn't. If you're willing to put in the work, you want to talk about a free man, I'm telling my story in front of 300 men prisoners, murder, all that. I mentioned the same story when I'm done. How can you talk about this in front of us? You ain't worried about us talking about you? I said, bro, I'm free. So I'm Facebook Live right now talking about it. It ain't mine. It's to help somebody. You see what I'm saying?
Let the people know where they can go at on Facebook, because the content you share is so educational. It's so knowledgeable. You're a great coach. You're a great mentor. Let them know where they can find
It's kind of like I'm thinking of just putting together some dances, because a lot of times if we have something to look forward to, our spirit is in a good place.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like if we all somehow whatever come together with like and Taryn had them comedy shows going for a grip.
Yeah.
You know
Shout
what I'm
out
saying?
to TD boy. He was just on here.
Yeah, I'm real grateful he would hit me up, like it made me a part of. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like whether it's dances, whether it's different types of tournaments, giving people just something to look forward to, because sometimes it's hard to do that yourself. Winter depression is a real thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, just like, how can I, which all of us are that how can I be of service to the next person? And not be so quick to go tell the world, oh, look what I just did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that takes away everything.
Yeah, I hate when somebody, like, you know, give back to the homeless or to the needy and they, like, film it or say, look at me giving this person something. You know.
Every now and again, it doesn't always have to be bad. It's going to come down to your intent.
Yeah. Your pureness of your heart.
Yeah, I remember I shared a video of this lady, I think she had MS or something, and my coworker was recording me walk her to her car. So I shared it on Facebook and I said, let's start a new trend. I'm tired of seeing all the, you know, it's usually black folks whooping each other and all that other shit. Like, let's start a trend of doing something kind for somebody. Like, let's start that. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, it didn't take off or nothing, but I won't stop. Yeah, you know what I mean? Things might not always happen like that, but if you just stay consistent and believing in yourself and knowing that, like, look, it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves. And nobody told me that LeVoy, that little boy that I used to call him Shy, talking about the inner me, I hated him. And he looked for every other Tom, Dick, and Harry until he was 34 years old to love him, to respect him, to validate him. No, bro, that's your job. That's your job. You want to be happy? You create it. Yeah. It ain't if you're not happy, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I had to start really digging. Until this day, to the day I passed. That's what I got to keep doing, and it's fine. And you start realizing, here's another scary part. Relationships around you going to change.
And that's what I was just about to get into. You know, I want to know that. Bud want to know that. LeVoy want to know that. What would you do? That's the meta question of the day. Would you give all? Would you believe all? Would you not go back down? Can you subdue and overcome addiction? Can you overcome abuse mentally, physically, and spiritually? Bud want to know that. Yep. I want to know that. LeVoy want to know that. Don't be a failure. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your team. Because at the end of the light, it's a what? It's a brighter fucking day. It's a brighter way.
It's a simple answer.
It's a simple answer. How happy do you want to be?
Right.
You got a guy that's been broke down, eating out of trash cans, shitting in bags. Probably was shitting on himself. You so drunk he don't know. Throwing up. Taking advantage of. You know? In a coma. In rehab. Giving himself to the music industry. Being taken advantage of by his peers. Being kicked out of home. Being ran away from home. Being taken away from his child. And he can still sit up today on Meta Talk and smile and laugh and share with y'all to let you know that it is joy in life.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, you get to look back and laugh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that don't own me no more. So it's kind of like, after my tooth got punched out and I'm taking a selfie, you think I'm smiling?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm at work, I remember talking to my homeboy. I'm telling him, he's like, yeah, you know, we go out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, listen, if we out and I'm about to get into it, I'm going to tell you, hold my tooth. He said, what? He's like, I done heard hold my phone, hold my jacket. I said, yeah, hold my tooth. I ain't about to choke on this thing.
You fucking trying to bite somebody, your whole tooth to game out of shit.
Yeah, he in the excavator. I had to pop my tooth out, hold it next to the bucket. You need this? Let me get a bite of that. Yeah, have fun with it. I mean, it is what it is. You are who you are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, then there's no mistakes in how we are created. We decide sometime along the lines as a kid or whatever, I don't like being black. I don't like being skinny. I don't like that. You better stop.
Yeah, everybody have their own insecurity.
Yeah, which is normal. It's giving yourself a break. I deserve it.
Yeah.
There's not one person in the world who don't deserve a break to say, you know what, I am who I am. And just like, so there's different parts to us. So keep talking about the comedy, right? I've always been the class clown and whatever. So I'm doing comedy. I remember I was going to talk to my coworker. I said, hey, I need to tell you this story or whatever. So he stands there and he goes like this. He's waiting for the punchline. I said, nah, bro, like it ain't that kind of story. You know what I'm saying? But I got pissed because I'm like, there's so much more to me than just comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it's my response. But my mother told me, LeVoy, if you act like a clown, they're going to treat you like a clown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you got to present how you want to be treated, but you also got to conduct yourself the same kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As much as I like to clown around, as much as I love to talk about intellectual stuff. You know what I mean? And you're going to, when you're living in your truth, you're going to go up against people that don't understand it. And immediate family, I remember I told a family member I was going to start my own business. First thing they say, stay off of Facebook. You take a lot of selfies.
Yeah.
I said, what is that supposed to mean? Well, you're taking all these selfies like, you think you know you're handsome. I said, I am. Oh, well, there's 1 million men. Let me correct you real quick. There's over 1 billion men who look better, have 2 good eyes, have stability. They got way more than I'll ever have. But here's the thing. I'm me. You don't know how I felt about me or the work that I've put in to get to where I'm at. And I'm not going to explain this again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we will unconsciously shrink ourselves so the circle that we're talking feels okay.
Yeah.
And it's not about ego. And then that's another one I get. You know, tribal members think you're egotistical. How many of them have talked to me?
How many of them have been through what you've been through?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, I once heard, I'm not a religious person, but I once heard they talked about Jesus. Why wouldn't they talk about you?
Facts.
Right.
They talk about LeBron. They talk about Michael Jordan. They talk about, look, do you. But here's the thing. I need you to talk. Why? Because you're going to show me where you stand in my life, whether out of it or at a distance or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when they talk about you, they better talk about your resilience. Because another thing about it is a lot of people face that sexual assault or sexual battle younger in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you 28, about to be 30, and you go through something like that, that'll fucking bring you all the way back down when you trying to go all the way back up. It'll make you turn around and resort back to drinking.
I mean, there's so many bad... I mean, again, everyone's case is different, right? So it's kind of like how it affects you is different. For me, I was always drinking. All it did was make it worse. And it's not just the drinking worse. It's the thoughts.
Yeah.
It's the thoughts that I'm really like now. In 1 minute, it's kind of like I could have a thought and it's kind of like, whatever. Then the next thing you know, I'm really starting to entertain that I'm really not a piece of shit. Now I'm kind of like, I really do want to hurt somebody and make the news. Like, I'll do it. Because what do I have to live for now?
Yeah, what do you got to lose?
Yeah, so it's the thoughts. It's the thoughts, man, that when you get to these dark places, it's horrible. It is. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And a lot of times I feel like you don't have to have this huge dramatic story to help somebody. Yeah. You have experience to help somebody.
Facts.
Like that's what it is. Because sometimes it feels like, when I'm working with some clients and stuff like that, they're like, oh, I don't really want to share my story because it's not as bad as this. But we're here in a facility. Yours is bad enough. You're here. You're different. When I'm doing group or something like that, one of the first things I'll do is take off my name tag. I ain't no better than you.
Yeah. And your story alone could change the world. So if you out there and you got a story, hit us up at metatalk3@gmail.com. Because your story could change somebody's life. Your story could change how somebody feeling. Your story could change somebody that's about to give up, who's out there, who down on their last. I want to give a big shout out to LeVoy Foster for coming through today, sharing his story. 2026, you got anything going on, some future plans, let the world know, like, where they can look for you, like, as far as in the community, as far as outreaching, as far as talking to people, as far as anything you doing in the community. Let them know.
I mean, right now, I'm working on my own little podcast thing. I'm going to work with you guys about, help me in the right direction with that. I got my buddy out in New Bedford. He's going to help me with that. Right now, it's really just like, you want to contact me, social media, whatever. Like, I stay available. You know what I mean?
Any events coming up for the future, 2026?
Not off the top of my head right now. I got a few things that are brewing. You know what I mean? I hope to have my third book done by the end of the year. Other than that,
give us a little insight into it. What's the name of it gonna be? Like, break it. Let us know. Like, come on, it's meta talk. Go let them know what they can be looking for.
That's the hardest part, because one thing about me is I'm an intricate thinker.
Yeah.
So putting it together, the organizing part is really hard, and it's something I really can't do on my own because of how I think, and no matter how many times I write this down, it's still gonna come out the same. Leaving it to me on another page is like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's really just like provoking thought for you to think for yourself. And this the simple term like that, like when you look at this, for example, right? Do you think black folks would really be drinking Hennessy as much as they do if we never seen a rap video?
Yeah.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, why do I think the way that I think? Like, what have I inherited? Because 10 times out of 10, like, even when we look at the school system, for example, it's kind of like, here's the top PhD, right? Think about this. There's a group of humans like us that said, this is where we're going to cap you off. Now go get. Do you not understand the other stuff that we know that we don't get a chance to apply?
In everyday living.
Yeah. There's things that we, how do I explain it? Where it's like, just challenge yourself. Challenge your own thoughts. Mm-hmm. Where did that come from?
Yeah. I had a history teacher that challenged me. I was always one of them kids in school that be like, yo, what up, my N-word? Yo, what up, nigga? Yo, come in, nigga. And he was very, like, intellectual. He was like, yo, man, I want you to, you can't learn from the people that oppress you. I want you to go and educate yourself. Mm-hmm. I want you to find truth yourself. And if it wasn't for those words, I don't think I would have ever elevated my mind, bud, or try to find my own answer and my own truth. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what life is about, sometimes trying to find your own truth.
100%.
Even in the dark times, even in the good times. Like my mom always told me, in the good times, praise God, and even in the bad times, praise Him. Always give Him your glory. Yeah, so.
Your ups and downs.
Yeah.
Everything can be a lesson, and that is
a blessing.
A beautiful place to be. Because you can never know too much. And challenge yourself on being open-minded. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody presents something instinctually, nah, that's dumb. Let me ask myself why I just said that was dumb, but over here, I'm talking about I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
These are commitments. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like...
Don't be contradictive.
Yeah, I get to pick what type of man I am, not the society stuff, because society will have you thinking, oh, I'm black, I'm supposed to, or I'm this age, I'm supposed to have this by then. I'm supposed to, says who?
Yeah.
You don't know me. You know what I'm saying? When I see these podcasts, well, this is what men like, and this is what, who are you to talk for me, bro?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, no, I'm going to believe in me, and like I share my entire story, so you can believe in you. That's on the...
Because this meta talk, we like everything.
Yeah.
Ain't none in between. We like the women, We like the gentlemen out there in the community. That's why we trying to uplift the guys.
Yeah.
We the YNs, we love the YNs because they always keep us going.
Man.
We don't know if they coming in with their shiesty on or not. But if you can leave the next generation or some mother or some father out there with some type of advice to help them get over anything in their life, whether it's pain, whether they just want to be happy, right now we want you to lead them with some type of advice. What kind of advice you got for the listeners out there?
You went through it because you can get through it healthy. A lot of times things feel heavy and hard, but that's a projection of how strong I am, not how weak. Talk. Actively listen. Be humble enough to say, you know what, I need help. I'm never always going to just have it together. And that's okay. That's okay. I am fine the way that I am. I'm going to, when I'm doing my best and I'm trying my best, it's on me to be okay with that. Because a lot of times when I say, for example, I bench my max weight at the gym, I tell my homeboy, and he says, oh, that's it? Now, that's been happening to me my whole life. So guess what? Ain't nothing a big deal now.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to start celebrating me. It ain't up to, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep the ball in your court.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it. And again, I'll always circle back. You want solid people with you, you got to be solid with yourself. Period. My stepdaddy told me years ago, he said, you think all these people care about you? As I'm getting ready to go do a comedy show. You think all these people care about you? I'm like, hey, but he said, hold up your hand. So I held up my hand. He said, that's how many friends you have. Now put 2 fingers down. See that clear as day. I can't be scared to turn the damn TV off. Turn it off. I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's a lot to it, you know what I'm saying? But essentially, it's kind of like I really have to learn how to think for myself and find like-minded people. I made it as far as I did in early recovery because I'm looking at the people doing it. And they said jump in their pocket, don't get out. I'm still there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just that. I got to be willing to face fears.
Well, this is Meta Talk. It's your boy Bear Cleasy, baby, and I'm here with none other than...
You already know it's your boy Bud, Mr. Absolutely.
And our special guest, Mr.
LeVoy.
Mr. LeVoy Foster. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for sharing such a beautiful and wondrous story. Mm-hmm. Hey, thank you for giving your insight and all your feedback. I'm pretty sure you just helped a lot of people out there. You changed somebody's life today, brother.
Definitely.
I appreciate y'all.
One at a time.
One at a time. And this is Meta Talk, and we out.
Yes, sir.